Hey, what's up guys? Drew here over at RevHiker Outdoors, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Rakaia Designs two-person tent, formerly TNH Outdoors, but the North Face went after them because TNH and North Face are the same. I don't know, weird. Stick around. Okay guys, so Rakaia Designs two-person tent. This is not ultralight. Let me just say that right off the bat. I know that my channel has been a lot of ultralight stuff, okay? This is pushing 4 pounds. Mirrors makes no difference to 4 pounds, just under, for a two-person tent. So, ultralight, it is not. However, it is ultra inexpensive, okay? There's a lot of ultralight tents out there that you're gonna pay $300, $400, $500, $600 for. Okay, this thing on Amazon is like 99 bucks. That's really cheap. That's really cheap. Now, I got this before my Colorado trip in November, and I had it for maybe a month before that. I set it up in the rain. I put it out in the backyard, see how it would do. I set it up in my house. It's freestanding, really easy to put up, by the way. All the poles are in one assembly, and they click together pretty quick. You really can't mess it up. It's fairly easy. And then the fly just clips on with some buckles. Really easy to set up that way. Comes with everything you need. Comes with the stakes. Comes with the guy out ropes. Comes with all that stuff, like 8 stakes, 8 ropes. The fly, the tent body itself, and then the pole assembly. So it's really easy to set up. Still got some Colorado dirt on it. Now I'll put in some pictures and stuff of where I was in Colorado and how I had this thing set up. But I had myself and my mom actually came on the trip with me. So we had 2 people in a 2-person tent. It was tight. It was definitely tight. But then again, every time, anytime a tent says 2-person, it's really just like a very spacious 1-person tent. If it says 3 people, you should really only have 2. Figure at least 1 less than what they rated at, unless you're 5'6" and 150 pounds. If that's you, probably 2 people would be good. I was 6'1", 193, 194, something like that, so it was hard for my mom is not short for a woman. She's like 5'8". So we had 2 not small people in there, and it was close quarters for sure, but there was enough room. And we had a lot of gear. I kept my rifle in the tent. We left our backpacks outside, but we each had a couple sleeping pads because it was single digits out there. We had big bulky sleeping bags. We had extra stuff in there. We had all kinds of things in the tent with us that we didn't want outside. So that being said, it did pretty good. There's a couple pockets on the inside for storage. You could hang stuff. I hung a little battery lantern in there, and that was perfect. Just reach up, click that on. The tent was big enough to where my mom and I both sat up in there, and we played cards one night when it was too cold to go outside, but there was nothing else to do. You're not tired enough to go to sleep yet, but it was getting dark at 5 o'clock, 5:30. So we decided we went and we played cards for like 2 hours. So most spacious tent on earth? No. But spacious enough for 2 people to play cards while wrapped up in their sleeping bags when it's 10 degrees out. Now, when we were out there, as with any tent of this construction, really any tent at all, when it's that cold outside and there's a whole lot of breathing on the inside, you do get some ice forming or frost forming on the inside. So we did have frost forming on there pretty heavily in spots. The whole top of the tent is mesh, and then you can see the fly on there, and it does help down about halfway down each side and about halfway up there's guy outs. It does help if you pull them out. It makes it wider, and you won't get any contact between the mesh and that. So You do well. While they're not necessary, it is nicer to have it out that way. And like I said, I'll have thrown some pictures in here of this thing set up at night and in the daytime and everything. We set this thing up on top of snow, and a lot of it melted from our body heat and stuff like that. I didn't get any water in this thing. Didn't have any frost or anything on the floor. It was only on the ceiling and some of the sides, and that's really just from our breath. Everything about this is really easy to set up. The front and the back are color coded. It's like green and black, and then the poles are green and black. So you really can't. I mean, it's really difficult to mess this up as far as the setup goes. It comes with different bags and everything for the poles. I just jammed it together because we were in a rush to get out of there, and I haven't even unpacked this yet. Since we got back, you can see it's still pretty dirty. This was the bottom. Like I said, it melted through the snow and got into some bare dirt. When I rolled this up, I didn't use the bag for the poles. I always just use the poles as something to kind of roll against. So these are the poles here, and like I said, you got the green end and you got the black end. Okay, one's a little bit longer than the other. The front is a little bit taller and wider than the rear of the tent. Then you have these little blocks here, and everything snaps into them. Okay, so this gives you the angles that you need, and they snap together pretty easily. The whole thing is shock corded, so that's how it is. These are all aluminum poles. They got whipped on the way in, whipped on the way out, and whipped while we were there, and used in very cold temperatures, and I didn't have any problems with this tent. So here's what I'm going to say about this tent. Really cheap. Let me rephrase that. Really inexpensive. Quite waterproof from what I saw. I left it out in the rain for 2 days and there wasn't anything in there. Did really well in the snow. It snowed a little bit on top of it, not much while we were there. But I set it up in the snow. I didn't get anything coming through the floor, so the waterproofing on the floor and the tub was quite good. It had ample pockets on the inside. Easy to set up. I don't have much bad to say about this tent other than the weight. But honestly, for what you're paying, it doesn't really matter. If you got 2 people and you are going to put 2 people in this thing, 2 pounds a person for shelter really isn't that bad. You could easily divide this thing up, one person take like the body and the poles, the other one take the fly and the stakes and the cords and all that stuff, and it wouldn't be bad at all. It worked really well. My mom when I told her the price, she's like, "You got to be kidding me! This thing's only $99." And then she kind of looked at me because she knows how I am, and she's like, "I can't believe you brought this out to trust on this backpacking trip, because I didn't stay in a hotel at night and go hunting during the day. Like, we backpacked into the backcountry and set this thing up the day before the season started. We slept there so that opening day we were already miles back into the woods. So this thing performed flawlessly, and I took a little bit of a gamble because I didn't have a whole lot of time to test it beforehand, but I took the gamble and it paid off. The thing really did well. Very happy with it. Very happy with the price and with the performance. Not only the performance for the price, but just performance flat out. I think it did really well. So if you guys are looking for a tent that is quite inexpensive, $99, Amazon, that's prime. That's like to your door. This thing's really good. I mean, are there going to be better tents out there? Yeah, there's going to be tents with probably better waterproofing and lighter materials and X, Y, and Z. But man, nothing's going to touch this for the money. So if you guys are on a budget and you're looking to keep prices low, if you're looking to pick up a tent for your kids that maybe you don't really want your expensive stuff getting smashed up by some kids, this is a great option as well. So anyway, guys, I think Rakaia Designs, which is formerly TNH Outdoors, I think they did a really good job with this thing. I'm happy with it, and I'm probably going to be picking up a second one. exactly for my kids. So I wouldn't mind having 2 of these at all. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. As always, don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe. God bless you guys. As always, hope you enjoyed this short review, and look forward to seeing you guys next time. Okay, so encouraging word for the day. As I'm talking about this thing, I'm getting all these memories of Colorado and being out there, and it was just so cool to be out in that country, out anytime you're out in the woods, out in the wilderness, it's awesome. But the views were just great out there, and it reminded me of the scripture that just talks about how basically the nights that we were out there, we looked up in the sky, and the stars and the Milky Way were just amazing. And it just made me remember the scripture. It says, the heavens declares righteousness. And it was just so cool being out there. I love being out in the woods. And so I'd encourage you guys, get out whenever you can, even if it's just a little patch of woods or it's just a few minutes. Get out there. And I remember just standing outside the tent the first night and just raising my hands up and thanking God for the ability to be there, and for being able to enjoy his creation and pursue the animals that he gave me to eat. And it was an incredible time. So I encourage you guys, every time you're in the outdoors, just thank God and take a look around you and see the wonder that is in the world. So anyway, guys, I'll talk to you later. God bless.